What's up and welcome back to segment number, doesn't really matter. At this point, you've learned a lot, you've grabbed a lot of information, and quite frankly, even though we've done them in a series of days and a 30-day segment to enhance and improve your financial literacy and well-being, these steps do not need to be taken in order, but it is important for you to take all of these steps in order to improve your financial well-being right now. So make sure to take action. But in this segment, we're going to be talking about something that may seem very simple, very mundane, but it's often overlooked. And what it is that you need to truly understand, like, and trust your bank, right? Well, you know, individuals I can hear someone talking right now, well, all banks the same. Not really. But in some capacities, kind of. So there's a yes and a no to both of these segments. And this session will be kind of interesting for me because I'm going to explain to you how banks work and what you should think about when considering a bank. And I got my trusty air pencil today because we'll probably be drawing in the air, and this will be a great segment and a fun segment for my team, because when I usually give this educational piece, I'm usually doing it on paper or a tablet or some form, but I'm going to do it in the middle of the air for you. So we'll do something cool and fancy to make sure that it can work to enhance your knowledge. But keep in mind, there's a bigger segment and a more deeper dive segment that's available to you as you wish. So with that in mind, as I shared earlier, make sure that you actually like your bank, right? All banks are not created equal, but there are some features and benefits that you should desire and want. So just be clear on what you want from a banking relationship and what you expect. At this point, you know, probably ease of use is important. Access to electronic money, meaning ATMs and debits and credits and just normal stuff that's you should be accustomed to or desire, right? Available for checks, preferably free banks. Free banks are actually going out of style now, and people are actually charging for checking accounts. That's a whole nother topic in itself. But again, these are the checklist items. We can give you some guidelines, but just be clear on what you desire. What's important for you? Is it important for you to access ATM or maybe not? Is it important for you to write checks or maybe not? Just make sure you understand your features and benefits, because when it comes down to it, the bank serves a purpose, but it should not be your only purpose. Let's take, for example, and I'm going to get into the illustration right now. When we think about where most people put their money, right? Most people put their money where or what institution? You're right, a bank or a credit union. So you get money here and you deposit it to a bank or a credit union. And what does that bank or that credit union do with that money? No, they don't just hold it or keep it until you're ready to withdraw it. No, they spend your money and they invest your money by doing what? Investing it by giving away loans and investing in businesses and startups and giving your money away, right? And the bank knows this, right? So if everyone takes their money, deposits it into the bank, and the bank has all of the money and the resources, they now can lend that money out and charge an interest or a premium in order to get that money back. I can hear somebody right now having a huge wow, eye-opening experience about that. Yeah, banks spend your money, right? You can access it if you want, you're right, but they know that they have so much of it that they can give you your portion and still have millions and billions, and at this point, trillions left over. So moving on, let's give some examples of how they use this money. When individuals go to get a home loan, what do home loans interest rates average throughout the nation? Well, disclaimer, this number will always change, and at the time of you watching this video, we're seeing home interest rate mortgages averaging at about a 3 to 4% rate on an annual basis. So if someone gets a mortgage of $200,000 or $300,000, they will eventually over time pay a little over 3-point-something% interest rate on that mortgage, and that's how banks get their $300,000 back with money on top. Additionally, individuals go to banks or use banks to get car loans. What do car loans average throughout the nation? A little bit higher than home loans. Well, some of them are low, but some of them are high when we take in consideration used cars. But when we take a look at an average at the time of this recording is somewhere between about 7 to 12% interest rate on car loans. Might seem high, but again, that's taking in consideration used cars that have the potential of being 18 or 20, and also new cars that have 0 or 1 type of percent. So that's the average. And then lastly, let's just use another example. Banks give out these pretty little things with black strips on the back, and now they're linked to your phone and watches and all stuff, and you can just ping them and tap them and swipe them at any place where you can buy things. What are these called? Right? Credit cards, yeah. And these usually come with the highest interest rates. Banks give away credit cards that have interest rates, usually averaging between what? Well, this is always a variable number, and it's hard to really give a true average because it's always changing. But again, at the time of this recording, we're seeing average interest rates somewhere between like 17 to 26% interest. And yeah, I hear some people saying that's high. Yes, it is. But at times, unfortunately, again, banks are in the business of generating revenue for their shareholders and their company. In most cases, banks are private entities. Now, I hear someone saying that's why I go to a credit union. Well, same thing. In some capacities and many times, credit unions are subsidiaries of big banks, a whole nother conversation in itself, but still credit unions are in the business of generating revenue for that credit union. Yes, sometimes these are public entities. Yes, sometimes these are municipalities. Yes, sometimes these are some type of community-oriented organizations or unions, if you will. But at the end of the day, they still need to generate money for that credit union to be profitable. And that's how banks and credit unions make money. So therefore, let's looking at these interest rates that we talked about here. These, 4% of home loans, 3% of home loans, 7% car notes, etc. with the credit cards. So if the bank is the one lending out this money here, who does this interest rate get returned to? Absolutely, to the bank or the credit union. And that's how they generate interest on the money that you give to them. Now, they will actually reward you and say, hey, open a savings account with us. Or if you have direct deposit, you get a free savings account, and we're going to give you an interest on that savings account, and they will give that money back to you. So what is the average interest rate on a savings account at a bank throughout the nation? Again, this is a number that will regularly change, but at the time of this recording, the average interest rate earned on this savings account, I hear somebody giving the answer and see some people getting mad. I can hear it, I can feel it, that the number is so low. But the average annual interest rate return on a savings account at a bank nationally averages a whopping 0.04%. And now this number will change, but that's at the time of this recording. And I just smile and laugh because many times people, they know that this is happening. They know that it's bad. They know that this interest rate is low, but they still continue to do the same thing. Now, as in all my videos, and as I said before, this is not a recommendation to go out and invest, to buy any particular investments, to go out you should talk to professionals. You should get professional advice. You should talk individually to someone. But again, many people know that this is bad, know that this is wrong, know that this is low, but they continue to do the same thing. Why? Just maybe lack of information. And that's why we did this 30-day financial literacy series. So because the bank is giving you this whopping 0.04% rate of return on your savings account, you have to get to the point where you can eliminate this person right here, right? Yes, you will use them for day-to-day activities, buying gas, buying food, buying bread, buying, groceries, going to get something to eat, simple transactions that you will need. The bank does serve a purpose, right? The bank does not eliminate immediately. There could come a point in your life where you don't need, right, a financial institution like a bank or a credit union. You can get there. And I know many people that have. It's really, really exciting and beautiful. But make sure you use the bank that you like in your situation. Eventually, as we continue to build wealth and we strive to build wealth, we have to get rid of this middle person of the bank when we go to building long-term wealth and be in a position to do what they do by investing, by loaning out, by being in a position for you to gain these types of 3, 5, 7, 12, etc. higher rates of return. And it's very possible, and it can be done. So this segment, I see a lot of, okay, now, but what next? Now, this can go on forever. But this is why I highly encourage and recommend that you have to speak with professionals. You have to have team members. You have to have coaches. You have to have advisors that can help you. Because there's only so much that a video, a session, a computer screen can give you. There does come a point where you have to go to the higher level and dive in deep to get the answers that are personally recommended for you to take action and continue to grow your financial well-being. So in this segment, in their financial literacy series, what should you be doing? Understanding your bank, right? Understand how money works. I know there's some great content over on YouTube and Facebook and so forth on how the American economy works. Ray Dalio did a great detailed cartoon animated video of how our economy works. Phenomenal video. I encourage you to watch that. You can find it. I'll actually leave a link to it below. But more importantly for you in this segment, understand your bank, understand how it works, and quite frankly, at the very least, like your bank enough to use them accordingly and know why you're using them so you can make the right decisions to enhance and style your life. So make sure you do this. Evaluate, make sure you like your bank. See features and benefits from other banks that might work for you. Make a change if you need to. If not, and you're satisfied where you are, that's good too. But at least you know, and you're very clear on how your bank plays a role in your financial well-being. So do this, use this to your advantage. And as usual, remember, you can have every single thing in life that you want as long as you truly believe it. We'll see you soon.